Top of the league and looking down on the Rangers. That's the only explanation we have found. Good morning and welcome back to the One Celtic fans view this morning. It's Friday morning. Seemingly a big game this weekend. Yes, it is the Glasgow Derby. And before we talk about them, there's a couple of things I want to talk about. Obviously, I think Scottish football, when it comes to VAR and it comes to referees, is probably at an all-time low. That's at an all-time low. Scotland in the last World Cup had no referees. No referees. Remember that at the World Cup, which is kind of tells you everything that you need to know. When organisations like FIFA and UEFA fail to take Scottish referees due to the standard of VAR in their officiating, there's none being picked for the Olympics this year. And it is professional referees that are chosen for the Olympics. And despite 45 countries being involved in the tournament in Paris, that is in late July and August this year, the World Football Governing Body has appointed 8 to 9 match officials, 21 referees, 42 assistants, 20 video match officials, and 6 supporting referees from countries across the globe except Scotland. What does that say for this weekend in the officiating of penalty rangers? We all know it's going to happen, and we need to do our best to make sure. Well, look, they're going to dive and they're going to go down quicker than a gas cooker's Titanic. Anyway, we'll move on for that. The fact that there has been no referees picked for that is quite astonishing. But anyway, we move on. We move on with that. And a funny little story that is going around that Celtic have stepped in to provide assistance to Dundee ahead of their clash with the Rangers. Celtic obviously want to make sure that Dundee game against the Rangers, the Sevco, goes ahead. I think it goes ahead next week or something. I'm not sure. But they want to make sure, Celtic want to make sure that it goes ahead so that there's it's a playable pitch. Celtic are going to give covers to cover the surface in case this rain that is plaguing Dundee is going to put the game at risk. The last thing we want is them to have a backlog of games going into the end of the season. We want them to get that game done and dusted so that we know where we all lie in the league table. If they win the game and they go top, so be it. If we beat them at the weekend and we go top, even better. Then we all know it comes down to the game at Celtic Park. And let's face it, the last time that Celtic won against their fiercest rivals before they died and didn't go to heaven and didn't go to hell. They were reincarnated. Yes, they walk this land as zombies and they call themselves the Rangers, but we all know they're just Sevco in disguise. Yes, they're Sevco in disguise. Anyway, Kieran Tierney's been talking about it as well. Remember the time that Celtic beat the Rangers 5-0 to win the league title at Celtic Park. It's going to be the same this time. I think it's going to come down to the game at Celtic Park, no matter what. And Celtic will need to beat them at Celtic Park to win and retain the title for the 3rd year in a row. Yes, 3 in a row. Here we go. Come on, this Celtic. Anyway, Kieran Tierney has been talking to the media, and obviously they're trying to get they'll pick out Celtic players from the past and Rangers players from the past. And Kieran Tierney says, look, there's no one better to lead Celtic than Rodgers, Brendan Rodgers, and his sidekick. His sidekick, John Kennedy. John Kennedy, who was the man on the bench at the weekend due to Brendan Rodgers being punished for telling everyone in the world exactly what he thought of the referees. And it's kind of carries on for the story that we've just been talking about. The fact that the Scottish refs have been snubbed again at a big tournament. So who's then telling the truth? Is it Brendan Rodgers telling the truth that the referees in Scotland are totally inept and biased? And the penalty Rangers count tells you everything that you need to know about a certain ref that is the ref this weekend. And it's no surprise that they've not been picked because they're absolutely woeful. Let's face facts, they're woeful. And they'll say it's honest mistakes, my arse. Anyway, Kieran is obviously, he's still living life in Spain. He's got some important games coming up. He's still got Barcelona to play, Real Madrid, and before the end of the season, and he's completely looking forward to that. I still think that Kieran will stay in Spain. He loves the lifestyle. I mean, it's everything you want. He can play football. We can eat some fantastic, healthy food on a daily basis. and it's nice and sunny. Well, it's not too sunny where he is at the moment. But it is fantastic weather. It'll be a lot warmer than it is back home for sure. Anyway, Chris Sutton's been talking about players that they are scared of. And we all know that it comes to it, they're going to be, they don't like the look of Kyogo because Kyogo's been prolific. Absolutely prolific when it comes to games against that lot. And then you've got to look at players in the middle, like Rio Hatate, who's coming back just in time for a couple of important games. And we all know how he likes to perform in these big games. And so that's two players that they absolutely will be fearing. And then the other one is Callum McGregor. They know how good Callum McGregor is in the middle of the park. And we all know how good Callum is, and he organises that team and he makes sure that everybody knows what they're doing, and he pushes the team and he builds the team up and pushes them forward. But it's the wingers. Is this the day that Kuhn kills the Hoon? That didn't sound right, did it? Anyway, Nico Kuhn could be the Hunslayer today. He could be the Hunslayer this weekend. Will he be the player that will dazzle us on the wing with the pace of Dyson Maida on the other side? Between the two of them getting back behind that back line of the Sevco for the oncoming onslaught of Celtic players running into the Rangers box to score as many goals as we can this weekend will be absolutely tantalising and fantastic to watch. It is building already. Usually when we go into a Glasgow Derby weekend, I get a bit nervous about it, but this time I'm quietly confident. I am quietly confident. I know it's the business end of the league, and it's when you have people like John Kennedy and Brendan Rodgers in charge, and they've been through it all before. They've been through it before, and they know what's exactly at stake, and they know how to get us over the line. This is what it ultimately comes down to. Clementine, oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine. They were singing that in a few weeks, weren't they? I remember the Warburton bread fucking scenario when they had the Warburton bread hats. What on earth makes a grown man get Warburton bread packets, make it into a cone, and think it's it's okay to wear it to the football. What the fuck? This is the type of people that we're dealing with this weekend, and they will start the weekend. Why? Doom, doom, doom. Dun, 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 dun. Fuck the Queen. Anyway, that was great times when we used to out-sing them at Ibrox when it came to that part of the song. And anyway, what makes someone actually do that? I still think back and think, did that really happen? Did they actually wear Warburton's bread hats to the game, like cones and stuff that made it work? It's fucking unbelievable. Anyway, we do play them this weekend. They will be absolutely, look, they've got their penalty man, Tav, all right, who is the best fucking whatever, because he gets that many penalties. But when you look at it, we can force back Kuhn. If Kuhn can force back the defence, as can Dyson Maida. When you've got the onslaught of Rio Hatate in that midfield, Callum McGregor, Matt O'Reilly coming at you, and then the one and only Kyogo making a complete nuisance of himself in the box, it's all going to make for a fantastic day and a quiet end to the bill. It won't be quiet. Well, it will be quiet. About 10, 15 minutes to go. They'll evacuate the building as they normally do with a chorus of boos at full time. It'll be fucking boo. Anyway, there's no Scottish refs at big international competitions this summer, which is no surprise. Kieran Tierney thinks we've got the best man that we could in the box, sitting in the little square box at the side of the pitch. We've got two men that know what Celtic are all about and know how it gets over the line. Chris Sutton, he says also that Dyson Maida and Nico Kuhn are going to be the players that make the difference to Celtic this weekend. Never mind the returning, or won't he return? We will be doing a video live tonight at 6 p.m. Celtic Part Time, where we're going to talk about, we're listening to Brendan Rodgers' interviews this afternoon, and we'll get to know for sure whether or not, or will he just keep it a secret until before the game, whether or not Callum McGregor will make it. Anyway, we'll talk about the team selection tonight. Make sure that you have subscribed to the channel. If you haven't, please do. It is completely free to subscribe to the channel, and it helps us get out to as many Celtic supporters as possible. Give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next one. Come on, you boys in green. Let's go, green and